Hey guys, welcome back to this 100% completionist playthrough of Super Mario RPG, where we do all the things. When we last left off, we defeated Mac the Knife, a dated pop culture reference even when this game came out in the 90s, and we got our first of the 7 star pieces. Now we're off to Tadpole Pond by way of Kiro Sewers. Mallow teaches us how to use pipes. Mario is a plumber and probably already knows how to use pipes, but look at Mallow's face. He's just so excited to teach us something. If you try to ditch Mallow, this happens. Although, why would you want to ditch Mallow? We love him, our precious cinnamon roll. But fun fact, in the Japanese version of the game, Kiro, so in the Japanese language, Kiro is the sound a frog makes. It's the equivalent of our ribbit in English. So it makes sense that Kiro Sewers would lead us to Tadpole Pond, right? In the Japanese version, this area is called Kino Kiro Canal. Kino referencing Kinoko, which is Japanese for mushroom, and Kiro, which is the sound a frog makes. So the intent of this is to tell the player this is the link between Mushroom Kingdom and Tadpole Pond. But spoiler alert, there are no frogs in these sewers. Unless you count Mallow. This enemy, the Pandarite, it's a unique enemy. There are a few treasure chest enemies found throughout the game like this, where they sneak up on you in treasure chests. They're a bit tougher than the average foe, but they're not too tough. The thing to remember about every one of them is they're weak against jump and resist every other element. The remake renames these chests stuff like Who's That and What-Oh, which, to be fair, is probably closer to the Japanese intent of what the name is supposed to be. But with the remake in general, there are some translations that make sense, and I'm fine with, and others that I don't like. Some of them lose the charm the original game had. But as far as those go, I'm very neutral about the treasure chests being renamed. I have no strong feelings either way. After you beat it, you get a true form pin for your trouble. Now with these chest enemies, if you leave the room after beating them, and then come back, you get some money. Now the odd thing is, that only happens with the first 2 chest enemies in the game, and then there's a third one, but the third one doesn't give you money for coming back. I don't really get why. But that true form pin we got, when equipped, it keeps you from being transformed into a mushroom or a scarecrow in battle, which you'll see coming up eventually, is a thing that happens in this game. Now the sewers can be a bit maze-like, but your goal is to get to one of these 2 pipes up here, so that you can jump up off these ledges here. We'll fight a battle for good measure. This area can be a bit maze-like, but it's not too bad. There's only 6 possible areas to go to. And this rat is introducing us to our first status effect, Poison. Poison reduces your HP by 10% each turn. And that's 10% of your current HP, not your max HP. The thing about status effects is they all wear off after 3 turns, so there's no status effect that's really a death sentence for you. Some are certainly more annoying than others, but poison is pretty harmless. Alright, level 5 already. Boost Mallow's special, that's what we like to see. And here we've found our goal, to press this button. Drains the water. Use the last of our FP here. That didn't do a whole lot, but that's fine. These aren't just ordinary boos. This is the Big Boo. Who knows why they're called that? They're not any bigger than any other boo in this game. There are, in fact, other boos in this game, and they are the same size, even though they're called Lil Boos. Make it make sense, Nintendo. Ghosts are hard to hit. Makes sense. This is where Mario first learned his phobia of boos. There we go, there's Mario's level up. The ghosts love to use fear status on you, which decreases your damage dealt by half, which is fun. This trampoline here will take you back to the entrance, but we don't need to do that. It's quicker to just do this. Now that the water's drained, we can go through this pipe down here. Heal up. Save. Now this ledge up here, you can actually do some funky tricks by jumping off of these boos to get up there, but we don't need to get up there right now. There's a secret passage of sorts in a later level that we'll find that'll take us where we need to go. Ooh, we got a Lucky. That's good news. I get to show you guys what Lucky does. This sewer has everything. Ghosts, fish, rats, you name it. Alright, Lucky. What Lucky does is, after you beat a battle, you're presented with this screen, which allows you to partake in a challenge, where if you win, you'll either double your coins or experience, depending on what it offers you, or lose, in which case you get 0 of that thing. So, we have the chance to double our coins from 5 to 10. Might as well do it. Try to follow the Yoshi. Aw, too bad. But now you know what it does. Don't gamble, kids. I don't feel like fighting you guys, so I'm out of here. Now we're on to our next boss fight, which is Belome. This four-eyed, rotund dog thing with horns? I don't know, but here he is. To me, Belome is the most relatable character in the game, because he is constantly hungry or sleepy. Sometimes both. Just like me. He follows a fairly predictable pattern in this fight, where he'll attack you with his tongue, like that. He'll eat Mallow, which takes him out of the battle temporarily, and then he'll turn Mario into a scarecrow. The scarecrow status that he'll use on us, it makes it so you can't use items or regular attacks on your turn, but since we're using Mario primarily for his jump specials anyway, that's not really that big a deal. But if you're worried about that yourself, you could always equip him with that true form pin that we just found. And here we go, it's Scarecrow time. You can still jump, guy. Nice. Sometimes you get so hungry you just have to eat this tadpole. To free Mallow from his tummy, you just have to smack Belome around a bit until he spits him out. Or he'll spit him out after a couple turns anyway. If you keep up the pressure with Mario, use Malo to heal when he's around, you'll beat him in no time. Even if Malo is eaten, Mario has enough durability that he can survive a few turns alone. Oh, and check out this artwork of Balome and Venom from Spider-Man and Marvel Comics showing off their tongues. This art was created by Kazuyuki Kurashima, who was the character designer for this game, so that makes this artwork official. And there we go, Balome's down with a moderately threatening message to leave us with. So Balome was sitting on this button, which has to be pressed in order to keep these floodgates closed, which makes me wonder, how long has Balome been sitting here? Is this like a job? Does he get paid to do it? Is there a better solution than the Mushroom Kingdom's water supply being dependent on someone heavy enough to sit on that switch? Find out the answers to none of these questions later. Here we are at the Midas River. Toad wants to give us another tutorial, but again, you don't need him because you have me. The idea is simple. You can move from left to right, and you can press the B button to swim up the waterfall just a little bit. And you want to try to collect coins and stuff. That's it. There are frog coins and flowers, which we'll get to. And if you go through these little caves, you'll be treated to some fun little cutscenes. It's kind of like Splash Mountain in Disneyland, but without the racist undertones. At this first fork in the road, you'll want to take a left at first, because there's a flower to be gotten from this cave here. Let's snag this coin. You can go right, but if you did go right at the fork, you don't want to go through that cave, because you'll get hit. But the fact that we are falling down a massive waterfall does make me think, did we have to go through the sewers to get to Tadpole Pond? I mean, Malo came to Mushroom Kingdom from Tadpole Pond, and I'm guessing he didn't swim up the waterfall, so surely there must be another way around here. And we're falling, and we're falling, and we're falling. At this second fork in the road here, you'll want to hang right, and go through this cave for another flower. And here we find this crook having a rough day, getting slammed by a thwomp. Turns out real waterfalls move much faster than that. Don't try this at home, kids. No thanks, Toad. Okay, this is the barrel jumping section, which is simple enough. You're on a barrel, and you can jump. That's it. You want to jump to get coins, jump to avoid the fish that pop out of the water, jump to avoid switching lanes, if you want to. The top and bottom lanes have different coin amounts. You'll find, as you practice this, you'll learn when you want to switch lanes to maximize your coin count. But in general, if you're concerned about coins and you don't know which path to take, the bottom path has more coins. The bottom path will be right more often than not. Even I don't get it right all the time. Oops. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, the music slowed down. We found the end. At the end of the river, you'll find this dude who will take all your hard-earned coins. Ugh, 59, that's a bummer. The first time you get 60 coins, he'll give you a frog coin. And then from then on, he'll give you a frog coin every 100 coins. Your coins do carry over in between runs. For the curious, if you take the best route possible at the waterfall and then at the barrel jumping event too, there are exactly 100 coins to be obtained. So overall, it's a pretty slow way to earn frog coins, but at this point in the game, it's our only method of earning frog coins. He also gives us this Knock Knock shell as a one-time prize. An important note for you completionists out there, both the Knock Knock shell and the hammer we got from the Hammer Bros are one-of-a-kind items. If part of your perfect game involves having all one-time equipment in your inventory, you're going to want to keep both of these weapons. In the video description, you'll see a link to a few different checklists. One of them has a list of these one-time obtainable equipment items, so watch out for that. As a side note, Knock Knock is a shortening of Noko Noko, which is the Japanese name for Koopa Troopas. Another fun fact for you. But for now, that'll do it for this video. Falling down a waterfall is a pretty harrowing experience, so I need a minute to recover. Thanks for watching. Next time we'll go to Tadpole Pond, we'll meet Malo's grandpa, and a whole bunch of exposition. It'll be a good time.